Hi BookTube. It's going to sound impressive when I say I've read 18 books since my last update, but when you see what 15 of those books are, it won't be as impressive. But let me start with the novels that I finished. First up is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, and I'm so glad I read this book. It is really interestingly written. It's a story of Okonkwo, who lives in a tribe in the Lower Niger. I want to say it's like 19th century, early 19th century maybe, but there's just so much to this book. The writing style is really interesting, how it evolves and why it evolves, and I can go on and on about, analyzing this book. I've obviously tabbed a lot, and the different themes that run throughout it. It's really quite interesting. Definitely worth picking up. Then I finished a childhood favorite, reread, Jacob Have I Loved by Katherine Paterson. This just really sent me back and about growing up and being a teenager, and even 12 to 13, 11 years old when I got this book. And it still speaks to me today, so the themes and the things that Louise goes through. Yeah, it is really quite good. And then I also finished No Crystal Stair by Mayruth Sarsfield, which is a Canadian novel about racial tensions in Quebec in the 1940s during World War II, literally like 1939 to I think 1943 or so. Yeah, it is interesting. I have quite a few things to say about it. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about Canadian history through this. Writing is okay. Characters, not so much. Plot doesn't really exist too much, but it's more of an examination of a community instead of a plot-based book or a character-based book. So yeah. And then onto the 15 books that I read. It is this pile here of children's books from the Serendipity collection by Stephen Cosgrove and Robin James. I've been looking for the Serendipity books for a long time, and I found this set for $3. So just quickly, Morgan Morning, Cap'n Smudge, Snaffles, Cartouche, Bengali, Morgan and Me, The Dream Tree, Hucklebug, Leo the Loptail 3, Leo the Loptail 2, Trapper, Creole, In Search of the Savopotamus, Grandpa Lop, and of course Serendipity. Now these are a series of children's books that were created to be kind of really simple but really interesting, presenting difficult concepts and such, with always a moral at the end of the story. Serendipity here is the first book, and that's why it's called the Serendipity series. And I'm going to talk more about these in a separate video. I also finished a play. I finished reading Lady Windermere's Fan, which was interesting. He's so witty. I just, if Oscar Wilde had access to Twitter now, I think it would be awesome. I think he'd just dominate the Twitter scene. Yeah, and I'll be reading Salome, which is only about 20 pages or so, this coming week. Books I'm currently in the midst of, Perdido Street Station, which has taken a strange turn. It leads you into thinking it's one thing and then goes into a totally different direction. Whether I'm happy with that or not, I will see. I still have 150 pages left or so far to go. And sorry, my cat's going crazy in the background. And I'll just tell you more. Perdido Street Station is about a scientist who's approached by this half-bird, half-man creature who's lost his wings, and the creature says, "Can you make me wings?" And it evolves into this whole difficult concept because you can't just stick wings on this guy and expect him to fly. There's lots of stuff going on, and then stuff starts to happen. And it starts off science fiction, fantasy, turns into like a horror, and now it's like a crime mystery thriller, and it's just not what I expected. I don't know whether I'm happy or not, but we'll see. Writing's beautiful, by the way. And then I have Midnight's Children, So Long Ago by Salman Rushdie. I have just under 200 pages left in this, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying savoring it. It is kind of a slow story because it is not really plot-based. It's more of growing up and kind of the history of India. I'm still listening to Memory of Light by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. And I got my Aes Sedai ring in the mail. I'll post a picture of that on Instagram if you want to see more details. And I'm gonna go and pick up Wittgenstein's Mistress again. I set it down because I wasn't feeling it, but I'll pick it up again. So that's my Friday reads. Let me know down below what you're reading this weekend, and thank you for watching.